Hi, amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. Now give me an amen. Now how about a hallelujah? Hallelujah. It's time for the show with no name. Let's lift off together.
8, 7,
Come on, count down with me.
5, 4,
3, 2,
1.
come on,
0.
baby.
Ignition. Lift off. Lift off. 30 minutes after the hour.
Let's do this like we never knew this.
Get ready.
There we go.
Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no. It's show with no name time.
On radio.
Let's go.
Hello. Another amazing day ahead of us. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you got a lot of energy, a lot of oomph. Ganas, pasión, energía. Well, no. I don't hope. I know you've got it. You show it every day. In all our challenges, in every comment, every time you repeat something aloud. So keep it up, show with no namers. Keep it up. Whatever you're doing, it's working. I can tell you that it's definitely working. All of you are making progress. Each and every one of you. Honestly, I've seen it in the way you write. I've heard it in the way you speak. When you participate in our question of the week. Speaking of, if you'd like to participate, you can send me a 1-minute voice note. This will be the last one before the summer break. So make it count. And I think it's a fun one. One that was sent to us by Chris Valrol. And if you had a time machine, if you could go back in time, where would you go? No he dicho you. I said, would you? Where would you go? I know my answer. If you'd like to participate, send a 1-minute voice note. You can send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. Again, it's aalonso@grupovon.com. That's our website too.
Nunca he entendido por qué a la gente le hacía gracia el personaje de Spider Cerdo de la película de los Simpsons. Es que no tiene gracia.
¿Cuál dices? ¿Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham,
Es graciosísimo en inglés.
Claro, tiene todo el sentido. Es como la araña jamón.
Eso es.
Claro, tiene sentido que sea un cerdo. Y su identidad secreta es
Peter Porker en vez de Peter Parker.
Ah, claro, tiene sentido. Porker, que es como...
A porker es un gordito y viene de pork, que es cerdo.
Ah, tiene todo el sentido del mundo. Así da gusto aprender con This Book is the Shit, el tercer libro de Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
No te pierdas nuestro método Milky. Vas a aprender un montón porque en realidad ya lo sabías todo.
That's right, folks. You can get all my books over at vontienda.com, or as we also say, it's kind of a slogan, a marketing slogan, wherever fine books are sold. And remember, my books are English everywhere. That was my first one. Then I got This Book is the Milk with my great friend, student, and brother from another mother, Damián Moya. He's also AKA, as you guys know, AKA is also known as Barrancas in the Hormiguero Show. Then we did another one. This Book is the Milk 2. Then I did one on my own, which is English on the Go, Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo, which we're going to actually take a look at in today's pop quiz. and the latest one, which is This Book is the Shit. We've got those materials and so much more at the Von Tienda. You can stop by in person in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. Also, you can contact us via social media. So, without any further ado, sin más, let's take a look at today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on, sing it. Let's warm up those vocal cords. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz, quiz, quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right. Welcome to our pop quiz. And as you know, and as I already told you, we're going to take a look at something from English on the Go. Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo. It's my fourth book. And it's a book for people who love learning while they're traveling, learning on the go, learning by looking at signs, learning by, saying, hey, what did you just say? How do you say that again? These kind of things, learning through observation. And we all know there's no better way to do that than traveling to a place, than leaving your comfort zone. So in this book, I have included 30 English-speaking cities. And if you don't have it, it's great. We're going to listen to some of the audio. Now, I'm not just saying it's great because I wrote it, but, I tried to work with amazing people from all different parts of the globe, which, as you can see, if we visit 30 cities, then we're all over the globe. So you'll hear a lot of other accents. You're going to learn English that I didn't even know. I haven't been to all these cities. So when I was doing my research, I was like, wait a second, that's interesting. So you've got in each chapter, because each city represents a chapter. Okay. And so the sections are, you've got a postcard. So I start each one with a postcard. And in that postcard, I give you some totally native vocabulary. Okay. And then we go to, now it doesn't have to happen in this order. Sometimes we switched it around, but in every one, you'll find the postcard at the beginning, chock full of totally native. I wrote it as if I was writing to my native friends from that city. So I tried to pull out the big guns, so to speak. Then fact or fiction. This is where, you know me, I like to play. So this is where I give you a fun fact, and you tell me, is that true or is that made up? And then, of course, the answer. Anytime I give you a challenge, because the book has challenges in it, the answer will be either on the next page or at the bottom of the page, upside down. Then you've got a section called This is History, a little history about each place, because as we know, and we do it every day on our spelling bee, we learn something from an event, acontecimiento, something that happened in history. It's a great way to learn about some history and also learn a little bit of the language as well. Then, of course, my favorite way to learn, through my stomach. Man, this is the best because it's not just your stomach. When you're trying new foods, remember, you're smelling them, you're seeing them, you're not just eating them. I mean, think about how important your sense of smell is. I think you say olfato. When you're sick, when you have a cold, estás resfriado, how does food taste? Bland, right? So-so. You can't taste it. So it's really important to be able to smell things as well. So we learn with the five senses. So this is one where we look at a local food or a local food custom, and I teach you English with that. Again, the book is all about exploring different places and learning English as we explore along the way. Each chapter also has a section called Local Lingo. Local Lingo, la jerga local. This is probably the section in each chapter where I learn the most, because I've never been to Boston. I've met many, many people from Boston, but I've never been to Boston. So for me, this is where I was like, oh, is that how they say that there? No, that's strange. Again, even I was exploring cities I haven't been to, and even if it meant exploring them, researching them for the book, it was fascinating. I really enjoyed writing this book. And writing a book is a tedious, painstaking process. Again, I don't recommend it to anyone, but I remember the research and finding out the fun facts. I remember I really enjoyed that part of the book. Now, the part that I don't think anybody enjoys is the proofreading. I mean, you've got to do it. It's got to be done. But this is, once you've written the book, you're not done. In fact, you're just getting started. Once the book is written, now it's got to be proofread over and over. And just imagine looking at the book, listening to the audio so many times that you're like, I can't even hear if it's, I'm missing typos. You start to kind of lose focus because you're like, did I hear this one already? Did I already edit this? And it gets quite confusing, especially when a book is, let's see how many pages we've got here. This is a, let's see, 321 page book. And again, it comes with audio, which we're going to listen to right now. The next one, famous people. Sound familiar? Famous birthdays. So by talking about the people that come from this city, we can learn English as well. Then you've got music to my ears. Again, this is in every chapter. This is where we look at a local musician or maybe a local venue that's very popular, right? Un sitio de conciertos, de eventos. Then you've got again, that probably sounds familiar. Why? Name that lyric, right? So basically, I've adapted the show with no name almost into a book, and we're discovering cities through those different elements. The next one is WTF. What the? And that's a fun fact that I just couldn't believe when I was doing my research. The next one, tell me the movie. Cuéntame la película. We don't say tell me the movie in English, but sound familiar? Name that movie. So we look at movies that were shot there or an actor that was from there. The next one, good sports. We always use sports here on the show, and I always show you and try and highlight the connection between sports and business. There are many baseball idioms that we use, and tennis, the ball's in your court. I know you guys know that. The next one, in good company. Now, in good company is a section where we look at a local business. So, for example, in Las Vegas, I think it was FedEx, right? And we tell you an interesting story about, or, what's the local economy there? This is the biggest producer of mussels, mejillones. Then we do an activity at the end of each chapter. There's an activity. So if we're in Arizona, then we're going to the Grand Canyon, and I give you translations with vocabulary around that activity. We're going to go camping in the Grand Canyon, for example, in Arizona. And then when we need to take a pee break, parar para echar una meadita, then you have a pit stop. And I think last week we listened to a pit stop where we look at the vocabulary that you'll need at a pit stop, whether you're stopping to grab a bite to eat, picotear algo, or you're stopping to fill up your gas tank, rellenar el depósito. So very useful book, and it comes with audio. It's called English on the Go, Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo. All right, and where are we going today? We're going to Washington, or maybe I should say we're going to D.C., porque si digo Washington, then I have to elaborate. Are we going to Washington State? Maybe we're going to Seattle. We do go to Seattle in the book, FYI. But no, Today we are going to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Come fly with me, folks.
Perhaps one of the most important organizations is the U.S. Capitol. They mean business. The building is like its own city. There's a crypt in the basement where George Washington was supposed to be buried. There's just one bone of contention. As he wanted to be buried at Mount Vernon, the crypt here is empty. There's also a fallout shelter, just in case there's a nuclear war. You never know what could happen. It's a house of cards. Speaking of, watch the series House of Cards in order to learn political jargon. And because it's awesome. Fallout Shelter es un refugio nuclear. Si eres un gamer, te sonará Fallout. Es un videojuego que tiene lugar en un mundo posapocalíptico nuclear. Y la palabra fallout significa lluvia radioactiva y efectos colaterales en general.
All right, Alberto, here we are at the White House. I'm kind of excited. Do you think we're going to see Trump?
Yeah, well, I'm used to a different White House. I've been living in Madrid. La Casa Blanca is El Bernabéu. It would be interesting to run into Trump. I think I have a few things I could say to him.
Exactly.
Let's go inside.
All right.
White House tour. La Casa Blanca tiene 35 cuartos de baño.
The White House has 35 bathrooms.
La Casa Blanca fue diseñada por un arquitecto irlandés llamado James Hoban.
The White House was designed by an Irish architect named James Hoban.
George Washington nunca vivió en Washington.
George Washington never lived in Washington.
Se completó la Casa Blanca un año después de su fallecimiento.
The White House was completed a year after his passing.
El segundo presidente, John Adams, fue el primero en vivir en la Casa Blanca.
The second president, John Adams, was the first to live in the White House. All right, Alberto, that was fun.
Yeah, well, we didn't run into Donald, but what a cool house. I would love to live in the White House.
Tell me about it. Dude, I'm going to be in Chicago in a couple of weeks. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Chicago too. Hey, I'll look you up.
Definitely.
Oh, cool. All right. Thanks so much, Julia.
See you then.
Ciao. Well, we've come to a grinding halt. We didn't mean to stop, but now we're stuck in traffic. It must be rush hour. We aren't moving at all. The traffic is bumper to bumper. Let's look on the bright side of life. We've got a great playlist. In fact, that Monty Python classic can be our first song. Would you like to request a song? ¿Te gustaría pedir una canción? Bumper es para choques. Es una palabra lógica porque to bump es chocar levemente o toparse con. Por ejemplo, he bumped into his uncle at the grocery store. Él se topó con su tío en el supermercado. Bumper to bumper, entonces, sucede cuando los coches están en un atasco. Por cierto, los coches de choque se llaman bumper cars porque siempre están bumping into, chocando contra otros coches, aunque no sé si lo hacen levemente. Road Songs Playlist.
Life in the Fast Lane by the Eagles.
Viviendo la vida a tope.
On the Road Again by Willie Nelson.
En la carretera de nuevo.
Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles.
Lárgate, colega.
Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf.
Nacido para ser salvaje.
Road Trippin' by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
De viaje en coche. In Traffic. Él se metió de manera peligrosa delante de mí.
He cut me off.
Se supone que tú tenías que ceder el paso.
You were supposed to yield.
No soy agresivo al volante.
I don't have road rage.
Entonces, ¿por qué estás tan cerca del coche de delante?
Then why are you tailgating?
Deja de tocar el claxon.
Stop honking the horn.
Espero que no tengamos un accidente.
I hope we don't get into a fender bender.
O peor, tener un traumatismo cervical.
Or worse, get whiplash.
Incorpórate al carril de la derecha.
Merge into the right lane.
Pon el intermitente.
Put on your blinker.
Dios mío, ahora estás en el arcén.
Oh my God, now you're in the shoulder.
To jam significa atascar o bloquear y es una palabra con muchos usos en inglés. Veamos si los sabes todos. Estoy en un apuro.
I'm in a jam.
Voy a tocar música improvisada con mis amigos.
I'm going to jam with my friends.
El papel está atascado en la impresora.
The paper is jammed in the printer.
Yo prefiero mermelada de fresa.
I prefer strawberry jam.
El evento estaba a reventar.
The event was jam-packed.
La señal de radio estaba bloqueada.
The radio signal was jammed.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughan.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. All right, folks, welcome to DC. Yeah, well, that's a good way to avoid confusion between Washington State and Washington, D.C., the capital, the nation's capital. All right, well, as I said, that material is awesome, not just because of the content in it, but didn't you hear those amazing, I mean, they weren't just doing voices or reading translations. Julia and Jimena gave it 110%, and I can never thank them enough. So a shout out, not just for their voice work, but all the times they had to read through it. Remember I said the most tedious part is proofreading? Well, those ladies, well, let's put it this way. The book would not be what it is now if it hadn't been for the two of them. Also Carmen as well in our materials department, Claudia. And it just gives you a little glimpse, una pequeña ojeada, una mirada, right? A quick glimpse of just how talented our team is over here. We really are. When I worked on it, I didn't expect these people to do such a wonderful job. Again, many of them are not actors. They don't, they're not used to getting in front of a microphone or a camera. Why? Well, that's not what they studied. That's not what they, most people don't do that well. But these ladies, and I would say everybody, Richard Vaughn obviously joins me in Texas. Kyle Miller joins me in Canada. So awesome team. The material is amazing. And again, it's not because I wrote it. It's because of all the people who contributed to it. Everybody who put their 2 cents in, su granito de arena, to make it what it is. So that's English on the go. Aprende inglés viajando por el mundo. We heard a lot of really good vocabulary, very useful, totally native vocabulary therein. All right, let's see what you guys were able to extract from this audio. The first one I want you to give me is una mentira piadosa, I believe you say. Okay, so obviously use it in context. This way I know that you know how to use it correctly. So una mentira piadosa. I've also heard my daughter say, a ver si es verdad, mentirijilla. So it's not like a huge lie that's going to throw off the course of the universe, but it's sometimes one of those lies that you tell just to not hurt anyone's feelings, right? So this is una mentira piadosa or mentirijilla, as my daughter would put it. The next one is, it's something I said again in that postcard part. That postcard part, again, is written so that you guys can really like learn native, just in the first section of each city, learn totally native vocabulary. All right, well, the second one I said, and the second one I want from you, I don't know if it was the second one I said, but the second one I want from you is, no todo lo que brilla es oro. No todo lo que brilla es oro. You can give us your own example of that, okay? And the last one is, we said it when we were driving. I was like, esta persona se metió delante de mí peligrosamente. Well, there's a much more succinct, concise way to say that in English. Do you remember it? We'll take a look at that and much more after this quick commercial break, amigos. Number 1, una mentirijilla. Use it in context. Number 2, todo lo que reluce, you know it. And the other one, se metió delante de mí de manera muy peligrosa. We'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. This is part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you can start your day with my buddy Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show. He talks about hot topics. Temas candentes, is that what you say? Hot topics. Hot takes. A hot take is an unpopular opinion. But it's great because Rob's teaching you how to talk about what's happening, current events, current debates that are happening, in the public sphere, in society. Very helpful and very real. One thing about Rob, he keeps it real. He's never going to give you that English teacher English, because that's not him, right? He gives you real English the way you're going to hear it. And that's awesome. That's a gift. After that, you've got a master class with Fitz. In his program, No Excuses. Don't miss it. It's a wonderful way to warm up for this show every day. This way, when you come, your lips, your tongue, your vocal cords, your brain is nice and warm. Remember, nice and, bastante. Nice and. No es nice and, porque nunca decimos and. It's nice and warm. All right, amigos, I hope you're nice and warm because we're going to kick off with today's Say What soundbite. Say what? Yes. Say what? Okay, I can give you a little something you're going to get right away, but today's Say What soundbite, the person's talking about something in Spain. Oh, wow. So today it hits home. To hit home. Tocar la fibra sensible. Is that how you say that? Hit home. Yeah. Right? Te llega lo más hondo. To hit home. Hey, that sounds like a baseball idiom to me. Another one too. We're in the home stretch. Esto es la recta final, the home stretch. Because when you go around the bases in baseball, your goal is to get home. You got to go to first, second, third, and then home. Once you get home, That's a run. Eso es un punto. So getting on base is good, but the idea is to get home. So we say you're in the home stretch, because stretch es tramo también, no solo estirarse. The home stretch or the final stretch. These are things I wish I knew in Spanish when I was younger. I never knew how to say la recta final. The home stretch, the final stretch. And most of you already know the word home. Everybody knows the word final, because tienes la palabra final. And many people know the word stretch. So realmente lo que estamos haciendo es cogiendo palabras que ya tenemos y dándoles otro uso, ¿no? Recolocándolos, reorganizándolos. So it's so eso cuando es así, cuando le acompaña al otro, es ajá. So in that case, you don't even have to learn new words, you know? All right, amigos. As always, I want you to listen carefully. You're going to hear this 4 times, as always, and hopefully somebody will be able to get it down. After these first 2 listens, I just want you to give me your feedback. I want you to tell me what you heard. Here it is. It's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
It's not an anomaly, then, that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely innovative is nurtured and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new.
All right. Sounds like a good communicator to me, right? All right. So, sound easy today? What do you think, guys? You think somebody's going to get it today, or will it go unanswered? Well, either way, the first part is easy. The first part, you can't go wrong. No hay fallo. You're just telling me your opinion. Okay, you can make a mistake in English, but I'll correct you, and then you can take note, and you probably won't make that mistake again because you'll say, claro, 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 he puesto obvious on. But that's how we do it. Live and learn. Siempre aprendiendo mientras vivimos, as we say. You say, se aprende algo cada día. We say, live and learn. Mientras estamos viviendo, aprendemos, ¿no? Cada vez. All right. Let me give it to you a second time, and then I'd love to hear your take on the Say What soundbite.
It's not an anomaly, then, that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely innovative is nurtured and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo Vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit. But today we're taking a look at a different book of mine. We're taking a look at English on the Go. Whichever one you choose, you don't have to choose. But if you only got enough for one book, hey, I get it. Your budget is your budget. I don't know which one to tell you. I couldn't choose myself because I feel like each one has its own personality. But English on the Go, I would say if you love traveling, if you consider yourself an English explorer, then English on the Go is for you. I'm an explorer. I love traveling. I wrote the book for myself too. As I said before, I learned a lot of stuff when I was researching and writing that book. So, and the same thing here every day when I'm preparing these scripts, estos guiones, I don't know all this information. I need to look it up and then I check it. Luego lo reviso because you can't believe everything, So there's no way for me to not learn here. It's I'm learning just on pure momentum, inertia, because of I can't just say, okay, copy, paste, especially because I don't trust Google or AI or anything. So you got to check the source. It's, I know I'm not a journalist, so I'm not that rigorous. No, un periodista. But I still like to get my facts straight. And even so, even when I do my research and I say, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the original source was wrong, right? So you never, ever know. And that's kind of the beauty of life a little bit too. When you're a kid, you look at adults and you're like, they have all the answers. They know the secret to life. And then when you're an adult, you're like, so I guess we don't. We're just pretending we do, right? Because nobody really knows. Look at Steve Jobs. He had it all figured out. He became a billionaire. He created, him and his team. And what happened? He couldn't beat cancer, not the second or third time. So, nobody's invincible. Everybody's living and learning as we go. I believe that. All right, let's see who's with us. Speaking of invincible, unstoppable, our show with no namers. We've got David checking in. What's up, David? David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Morning. There's Born to Iron Man saying, morning, folks. Hello, Born to Iron Man. Welcome aboard. There's Elena. Elena says, good morning, show with no namers. Are we all aboard? If not, they can catch up with us. But this ship blasted off about 45 minutes ago. But hey, better late than never. If you're joining us now, welcome. If you can't join us, you can catch it on the podcast. We love you no matter what. And Elena says, then it's full steam ahead. A toda máquina, a todo gas. Full steam ahead. Great job, Elena. You're always impressing me with your English. And that's awesome. Full steam or full speed, los dos te valen. Ahead. And she says, smooth sailing up ahead. Double totally native. Smooth sailing, I think you say de viento en popa. Que viene lo mismo, ¿no? Que el mar nos acompaña, ¿no? It's smooth. It's smooth sailing. Well, yeah, I guess, except for round one of our spelling bee, right? That's not always smooth sailing. Elena, you sound like a totally native person. Excellent job. Great to have you on board. Elena says, oh, great, Elena, you are rocking today, huh? Elena's like, come on, I got my boxing gloves on, and I am ready for whatever happens, whatever comes my way. And Elena says, don't tell me white lies. I know this white dress doesn't fit me. All right, excellent job. Oh, wait. I was trying to put on That. I gave you an Italian organ over there, but I wanted to give you an applause. Don't tell me white lies. That's right. They're called white lies in English. Oh, or you can also say a little white lie. No, se puede meter la palabra pequeño ahí. Don't tell me white lies. I know this white dress doesn't fit me. And she did a double trouble there, folks. You see that? And then she says, I guess he's a nice, good-looking man, gentle and kind. But careful, not all that glitters is gold. Absolutely. Or all that glitters isn't gold. You can say it. The idea is no podemos doble negar. So excellent. Not all that glitters is gold. O también expresado, all that glitters isn't gold. Como quieras, los dos. Both are correct. Elena, excellent. And the last one, he cut me off on my way to work. See? Wow. Elena, I can tell you were listening to Fitz and no excuses because you were nice and warmed up. Excellent. So he cut me off on my way to work. Now, we also use to cut somebody off when they're speaking. Don't cut me off. I'm not finished. Let me finish. You keep cutting me off. Also, to cut somebody off at a bar. If you get cut off at a bar, you've been drinking too much. Okay, so it's a pretty, I would say, and also cut off the ribbon, cut off the tag, la etiqueta, cortar para quitarlo, no? So it's a pretty rich word there, in the sense of interrumpir. Piénsalo, le estás interrumpiendo en la calle. He just cut me off. And to cut somebody off is to interrupt them. Wow, Elena, what a great start. And the expression, all that glitters isn't gold, right? All that glitters isn't gold, or not all that glitters is gold. You might know it from a song. You guys know the song All Star? You should. It's an awesome song. All right, I'll sing it to you. I'll sing that part for you. Okay. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on. Get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. I didn't sing it in the right tone, but you might know it. Hey now, you're an all-star. And they say, all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Rompen el molde. Solo las estrellas fugaces. And there he says the opposite. He says, all that glitters is gold. So I'm sure many of you have heard that song. Is it in Shrek? I forget. I know it's in a really popular movie because it made the song even more popular than it was. But what a great song. That's one of those songs we could add to the songs that pump you up playlist, no? Also, Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba and what's that one? Everybody calls the song, I get knocked down, but I get up again, because you're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. So many songs that get us pumped up, motivados. All right, Elena, wonderful job. Chris Valrol says, I'm more capable of telling a white lie now. Perdona. Good job. Well, Chris, you're an honest person. I got to be honest. It's hard for me to tell even a white lie. I've got a guilty conscience, even though I didn't do anything. But maybe it's because I was raised in the Catholic Church. I don't know. You're always doing bad, even when you're not. Wait, no, that's not true. All right, amigos. So great job. Let's see the next one. Chris, all that glitters isn't gold. That's true. And that guy cut me off on my commute. Excellent job to Elena and Chris Valrol. The ladies are rocking and rolling. Let's see. Elena says, spelling bee is no pleasure cruise for me. You want another totally native? All right, Elena. You got room for all of these in your house? So it's no pleasure cruise. I taught you that one yesterday, I believe. No es pan comido. Wow. Elena, you are showing off today, and I love it. I love it. Excellent job. She's also participating in the Say What soundbite. Elena says, a food critic. This is the Say What soundbite synopsis. So a food critic is singing the praises of an outstanding, innovative Spanish chef, right? We're missing the noun there. Spanish guy, Spanish chef, and his remarkable restaurant. Wow. I'm going to give you another totally native. To sing the praises. We say cantar elogios. O sea, no deja de dar elogios. Wow. You're just missing the word chef. Y acordados, la palabra chef en inglés, aunque se escriba exactamente igual, it's like Michigan, Chicago, chef, machine, right? There are times when our CH is like chew, change, but a lot of times when we find it in the middle of a word, it's an SH sound, all right? Excellent. Elena, let's see. Chris Valrol says, I heard an American man, yes, describing, it's like a commercial, how wonderful Madrid is. At least he mentions it. And that you can find David Munoz. Yeah, he writes his name weird, this guy. David Munoz's restaurant there. Delicious. Great. Now, you guys want me to be honest with you? I ate at one of his restaurants, not the expensive one. It's still expensive. All right, the lesser expensive one of the two. And I think it was called Street Show or something. Street XO. And I went there, and I like the concept. The people were wearing straight jackets de un manicomio, straight jackets, estos que te retienen, que no te puedes mover. The music was really loud, not my cup of tea, because I like to talk. I like a little music background, but it was really loud. The cocktails were cool, but my biggest complaint, honestly, was that like 5 or 6 dishes that we ordered had the same sauce on them. And if you're if you're going to a restaurant and you're like, I'm going to try 5 things, I don't want them to all have the same kimchi, or I don't remember. It was like a red sauce. And I'm like, so wait, that's on the lasagna, that's on this. So I'm going to taste this in every dish. So I don't know, maybe my palate, mi paladar, is that how you say that? My taste buds, estas cositas en la lengua, gustativas, you call them, right? My taste buds are more refined. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because a lot of people say that, and I'm just basing it on my own experience. Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe I ordered the wrong things. But for me, I was like, this is kind of the other thing with that sauce again. And I get the gimmick, the design, better. But the food was, and I'll give you a good way to say it, underwhelming. A ver cómo ponen underwhelming. Now, I imagine if you go to his expensive one, it's going to be excellent. I don't know. It's diverso. Now, the one they're talking about here is obviously diverso. I don't know how to pronounce it. Excuse me there. But you know what? If Madrid didn't have so many amazing places to eat, cuisine from all over the world, and I don't just mean Spanish food, obviously. We've got excellent Gallego restaurants. We've got excellent Asian restaurants. And this was underwhelming. The word is another way of saying decepcionante, which is disappointing. Careful with that word, too. What is a deception? Hablando de mentirijillas. A deception is a lie. If you are deceiving me, que de hecho muchas veces lo usamos la expresión, do my eyes deceive me? So careful with the false friend. A deception, a lie, a disappointment, or a letdown, or something that is underwhelming is something that didn't deliver on what was expected. And again, it was expensive. The cocktails were good, but the food, the most important part, IMO. If you're a chef, if you're running a restaurant, I think the atmosphere is important, the drink menu is important, but the food is the key. And while I'll admit this, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh, this is gross. Why did he mix these flavors? The thing is, it was quite repetitive. Again, I'd love to be proved wrong. Dabix, or however you pronounce your name, if you'd like to invite me there and prove me wrong, sure. I can't afford to go there again. Hey, you got to try things once. But you don't get a second chance to make a good first impression. So that's all. But the guy's famous, so he's doing something right. Yeah, but then again, there are a lot of people who are famous for God knows why. I mean, that's the whole thing now. Instagram. Sometimes it happens to me. I see a post on Instagram, and it says, Maripuri de la Vergara, the whatever, just got married. And I click on her profile to see who she is, and she has 5 million followers. And I'm like, who is this person? And then I look, is she an artist? Does she sing? No, just post photos in bikinis. Wow. Well, I come from a different time, folks. I come from a time where Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Tom Hanks, if you were famous, it's because you were kicking ass, not because you took good pictures of yourself. Hey, times they are a-changin', as our buddy Bob Dylan would say. Folks, we'll be right back with the second half of today's show, so stick around. Yeah. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show. And don't forget, after today's show, you can continue to learn English with my amigos. You've got Gretchen and Speaking with Confidence, our newest show. And it's right after this show. So stay tuned on the Vaughn Radio app. Also after that, you've got the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. You ever wanted to sit in on a totally native conversation between two best buds? This is your chance. And you can participate in the conversation. As you guys know, you can interact with them as well. You've also got Jules Linares and her soothing voice in Let's Get Random. Then you've got Dave Boys, and you never know what kind of voice you're going to hear from him. He's a master impressionist. Yeah, he does so many different impressions. Impressions in this case is imitaciones. He does I think he does every accent under the sun on his show. And he's extremely talented, musically speaking as well. That's Dave Boys. It's no wonder he's been on the air since day one. You want to talk about the old school? Our buddy Dave Boys. Kyle Miller follows him with Drive Time. Lots of challenges for your commute. And then when you get home and you want to kick back, reclinarte, put your feet up, crack open a beer, or make a cocktail, or who knows, just a cuppa, una taza de café o té. Well, you can do that with my buddy, and you know him, Chris Frank from Frankly Speaking. And of course, the man who put this thing together, Richard Vaughn and Richard Vaughn Live. All right, folks, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And we're going to take a look at some words right now. Maybe you're familiar with them. I'm sure you're familiar with the first one. The second one, we shall see. So tell me the words and then tell me if they sound exactly the same or not. All right. The first word is golpear, pero quiero que sea con ese. Entonces tendría que ser ella golpea, él golpea, eso golpea, right? Tercera persona, okay? También es dar una paliza. So, ella da una paliza a su compañera todos los días. Y no tiene que ser, it can be in the figurative sense, o sea, vencer también. It's a very, very rich word. All right. So it's to defeat, it's to hit or to hit repeatedly. También es batir, what we do with eggs. Okay. In fact, there's bueno, te cuento el chiste después, porque si no te voy a dar la pronunciación. Also, it's another way of saying flap, batir alas. Okay. También es el ritmo. Okay. So wow, it's quite a rich word, and there are other expressions, other uses. Like si yo te digo, pues ni papa, no sé, también emplea esto. Diríamos it me, okay, me vence a mí, me gana a mí, okay, que no me supera a mí would be a good way to translate it, I think. No me entero, no sé. También es estar hecho polvo. Okay, como adjetivo, pero lo quiero con ese. Okay, that's the most important part. Okay, también es latidos. Okay, do you hear his heart? Okay, rondas de policía. Okay, and well, it's got many other. There's an idiomatic expression as well, which is andar por las ramas, which is to around the bush. Otra vez lo quiero con ese en tercera persona. And the second word is remolacha. Remolacha. Okay? So, y también en plural, con ese. Obviously, both of them should end with S, okay? So, porque normalmente, a no ser que hablemos de una planta de ellos, si hablamos de remolacha como comida, siempre le empleamos ese. No me gusta la remolacha. Pues ahí lo diríamos con ese. Las remolachas, I guess. All right. So that is. Oh, bueno, entonces podemos usar esta frase. Nada. Para mí no hay nada mejor que remolacha. Nothing. O sea, ahí tienes las dos juntitas. Let's see if you know the words and if you know the way they sound in today's homophones. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
It's not an anomaly, then, that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely innovative is nurtured and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new.
First things first, how are the machines doing? You good?
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. Let's take a little picture. Quick question, though. ¿Cómo se dice emparejar en inglés?
No sé.
Come
¿Tu
on.
emparejate?
No, emparejate. Usas Tinder, ¿no?
Sí.
Pues, ¿qué pasa cuando te gusta una chica y hacéis pareja? ¿Hacéis un
Match.
Eso es. Y vamos un paso más allá. Un matchmaker, uno que hace parejas, es Celestina.
Ah, claro, ¿qué sentido tiene?
¿Ves? Lo sabías, pero no sabías que lo sabías.
Así es, This Book is the Shit, el nuevo libro de Alberto Alonso.
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ahora sí, that's what I'm talking about. All right, this book is the shit. What an awesome material to have for the summer. If you don't have a copy, un ejemplar, well, you can get it over at vontienda.com, or you can stop by one of our offices in person. All right, let's see who's participating in our homophone section over here. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, yes, it's from Shrek. I think I was censored when I said good morning, maybe because I wrote, let's shoot for the moon. Well, good morning, and I'll give you a totally native for that one. Let's shoot for the moon. Vamos a por todas. You can say to shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars, right? Both of those. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a cold day, but they say it gets colder to get older. I don't know the lyrics, but it's a great one. It is a great song. All right, let's see. Elena's participating in today's homophones. She gives us the two words, and they are correct. And she says they are homophones. Chris Valrol gives us the correct words as well. And she says, I'd say they're homophones. All right, well, remember I said, no, para mí no hay nada mejor que la remolacha. Nothing beats beats. Nada le gana, le vence, le supera. Nothing beats beats as far as I'm concerned. So yes. Excellent job, Elena and Chris Valrol. Wow. Nothing beats. Nada le vence, le gana, le supera a la remolacha. The first one, well, listen, you've got a beat in the background. Beat. Give me a beat. Un ritmo, right? Also, the headphones, beats, right? Because you listen to different beats on the headphones, okay? Y como te digo, la segunda remolacha, normalmente le usamos, a no ser que hablamos de una planta, de una raíz, we're talking about the food, it normally gets an S. Y esa es con dos Es, right? But let's take a look at the different uses of beat because, man, I don't want to beat around the bush. No quiero andar por las ramas. But this is a really rich word. And how do you conjugate it? Let's take a look. Every year, they beat their rivals. Vencen o ganan a sus rivales. Last year, they beat their rivals. So the same. Oh, wow, that's good. And lately, they've beaten their rivals. So it's beat, beaten. Don't mix it up with bite, bit, bitten. Right? So apuntamos. Beat, bitten. Excuse me, me estoy liando yo. So vamos con el que estamos mirando en el homophones. Okay, so beat, he beat me up. Okay, he beat me up. He always beats me up. Tenemos el pasado, el presente. He has always beaten me up. Okay, y hemos dicho con huevos también. The chef beats the eggs every day. Yesterday, he beat the eggs. Lately, he has beaten the eggs. Y morder? Every day, I bite my tongue. Expresión es igual. Yesterday, I bit my tongue. And lately, I've bitten, not beaten. So no son homófonos esas dos. Las aclaramos ahí, okay? So let's look at the examples. He beat his desk with his fist when he found out the bad news. Gah! Right? Dar una paliza. Muchas veces le metemos el up. He got beat up. Le dieron, si queremos decir, le dieron una paliza. He got beat up. There's a bully who's always beating people up. Okay, beat, we already just said vencer al rival, al otro equipo, right? If I tell you I'm beat como adjetivo, ¿qué significa? Estoy cansado. Piensa, estoy batido. I am beat, man. I am beat. And what about this one? To the beat of the rhythm. We looked at that one. Beat is rhythm. Lo dicen, esa misma canción. Okay. Esto es mejor que hacer lo otro, o as we just said, es preferible. These beats beat broccoli, right? Le vencen, le ganan. Son mejor que, right? Let's see. Any more over here? Beat un tiempo, so a musical note. Also, he was beating his wings. Another way of saying flapping, right? Can you hear my heartbeat? Y si lo piensas, ¿qué es? Es el ritmo de tu corazón, right? And to beat around the bush, to beat somebody up or to beat somebody down. ¿Quieres ver la gracia del inglés? Ambos significan dar una paliza. They beat me up. They beat me down. Da igual si es para arriba o para abajo, pero te dieron una paliza. All right, amigos. Wonderful job to Elena and Chris Van Roll, our superstars. The ladies are kicking butt. The guys are still drinking their pina coladas while the ladies, I'll teach you a good expression, while the ladies mop the floor with them. Pasan la fregona. To mop, or we can say sweep too. To mop the floor with, or sweep the floor with, means to, me está diciendo, me ha puesto to mop the floor with vinegar. No. To mop the floor with someone means to defeat, to beat. Toma. Vencer. Dar una paliza. I didn't even mean to do that. So another totally native expression. Cuando uno le está dando mil vueltas al otro, you're mopping the floor with them. Estás pasando la fregona con ellos. Hey, some totally native ways of looking at this concept to beat, because beat is much more than a word. As we've just seen, it's an idea that can be expanded into many, many different words, very useful words as well. ¿Cuántas veces has dicho, estoy reventado, right? I'm beat. So there we go, my amigos. That is your homophone section. Now it's time for the part that isn't a pleasure cruise. Like Elena said, it's our spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. All right, amigos, welcome to our spelling bee here on the show with no name. Hey, wait. Different sound for round one today, huh? I wonder if there's a reason for it. Well, we shall see, my amigos. Also, a nice round of applause for Elena. Wow. Whatever you had for breakfast, have it every day. Whatever you did this morning, whatever routine you did this morning, Elena, keep it up. She got the say what soundbite after the third listen, and it looks perfect. So great job, Elena. I'm glad it was a pleasure cruise for you to use the word that you're reviewing today. And I think that's wonderful. As you guys know, there's nothing I love more than seeing you guys put into practice vocabulary that I've just taught you. You know, finding that reason to use it. That is awesome. That is the final step. Okay, one thing is learning it, one thing is applying it. The other thing is finding that, oh, finally I can use that expression. Here it is. I found the perfect moment. Hallelujah. All right. Here we go, my amigos. Here is today's spelling bee. This is round one. Good luck. Mucha suerte. Here we go. The first one is, and let's capitalize the first letter of each word. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. It is TAOIST space MONK. The second one is WANG space YUANLU. The third one is DUN. I'll start that one again. The third one is DUNHUANG space MANUSCRIPTS. The fourth one, MOGAO space CAVES. The fifth one is DUNHUANG, comma, space CHINA. And the last one is PAUL space PELLIOT. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. If you want more information about the Oxford Test of English, you can get it online at grupovon.com. You can also ask us on social media by sending us a direct message, a private message, or you can stop by in person and get a free, or another way to say free, a complimentary level test. And you can stop by if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. All right, let's see. I'm going to check the comments over here to see if anybody got our spelling bee on the first round. And as you can see, I even made a mistake on the third one. I had to restart it. So that can give you a clue that these words are not English. Well, some of them, but a lot of them are not. So it's word combinations that maybe I've never had to spell before. Hey, all that affects it. If it's words I've spelt a million times and I've seen spelled, I don't even have to really look. If I'm spelling the word, going, I don't have to think I'm G-O-I-N-G. It comes out naturally. But if I have to spell the Yanhuanghai province, good luck. It's not going to roll off my tongue, as we say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a student who is taking a stab at this over here. Let's see if she's got it. Chris Valrol, she feels confident. The first one is correct, Chris. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is also correct. And oh my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Varol. And today was extra difficult, I think, because some of these words are Chinese. Y no es una expresión. Me suenan a chino, like you say. No, these are really Chinese words in here. Okay? Y acuérdate, in English, we don't say, it sounds like Chinese to me. aunque se entendería, ¿eh? But we say, it's all Greek to me. Para alguna razón, nosotros pensamos que el griego es la que suena rara, ¿no? El idioma raro. So we say, it's all Greek to me, right? Oh, y la expresión antes con beats. It beats me. De hecho, no hay que decir ni it. Alberto, do you know what time the concert starts? Beats me. No tengo ni idea. So there's another usage of that very rich word that we looked at in today's homophones, beat. All right, my amigos. Chris Valrol was able to beat the clock because I was just about to start round 2. Now you get the gong thing? All right, here we go. Let's see if anybody can join Chris Valrol in our winner's circle. The first one is TAOIST space MONK. The second one is WANG space YUANLU. The third one, this is the one I messed up on. It's not because you normally don't see those letters together in English, that combination of letters. And that one is DUNHU. Es esa. NHU. So empiezo. DUNHUANG space MANUSCRIPTS. The fourth one, MOGAO space CAVES. The fifth one is DUNHUANG, comma, space CHINA. And the last one is PAUL space PELLIOT. All right, amigos. As I said, Chris Valrol got it on the first go. Impressive, because even me, I had to redo number 3 because, again, these are words. Okay, the word manuscript, claro, manuscrito, sure. Caves, cuevas, sure. Monk, monje, también. But some of those Chinese words in there, whoo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. I'm telling you, the ladies are on it today. They don't care about that summer heat. They are ready to rock and roll, and they're proving it in every section. Y otro uso. Y esto es muy de marketing. You want to beat the heat this summer? ¿Quieres vencerle al calor? Porque rima. You want to beat the heat this summer? Try Sprite. You know, so a lot of times it's refreshing. Obviously, don't. Drink water. Don't drink Sprite. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. Drink Sprite and beat the heat this summer. Right? With these, so otra vez, el uso este de vencer. Lo oirás en muchos anuncios veraniegos de la radio, de la tele en Estados Unidos. All right, amigos, we've got to go to our last commercial break. And after this part of the show that we're going to do now, we've officially got 2 shows left. Thursday and Friday. And Friday, we're going to hear from you guys in our question of the week. Send us your audios before Thursday, and you can practice speaking on a weekly basis. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. I should say amigas, as the ladies are participating a lot today. I guess the fellas are here, porque hicisteis check-in. You guys checked in. el fichaje. But I guess today's show is extra challenging for the fellas. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. The ladies have got you covered. Thank God for them. Seriously, thank God for the ladies in life. And I don't mean that in a perverted way. A little bit. Maybe just a little bit. All right. We're going to take a look at Double Trouble in this part of the show. Oh, excuse me. Triple Trouble. Oh, wow. And guess what? You've got an edge, an advantage in this one. Why? We looked at this one. This is one that came up on a prior show. ¿Sabes estas que digo? Lo estoy apuntando. Esto es un buen Double Trouble. Pues aquí lo tienes. So now we're going to see who was paying attention in the past shows. That's our Double Trouble. After our Double Trouble, we'll listen to the Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. We've got Name That Movie. We've got jokes, Name That Lyric, famous birthdays, and so much more. And when this show is over, you can stay tuned for Speaking with Confidence with Gretchen. Don't miss it. All right, amigos, are you ready for it? It's time for your triple trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble.
No.
I said
Triple
double trouble.
triple trouble.
I said
Triple.
double trouble.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to use the same word 3 times. Wow. 3 times today. Good luck. All right. Ese tío colocado, petulante, no escaló muy alto. No escaló muy alto. Okay, so, ese tío colocado, ¿no? En algo, se ha tomado algo, está bebido, muy bebido. Ese tío colocado, petulante, ¿ok? Ese tío colocado que es petulante, si quieres poner que es también petulante, ¿ok? Así, maybe it's easier that way, ¿ok? Ese tío colocado que es también petulante no escaló muy alto. Ooh, that petulante is going to be the tough one there. Because alto, I think, is easy. And colocado, we looked at it the other day. We even looked at the expression dejar tirado. I could have made it a quadruple trouble con to leave somebody high and dry. No doy más pistas. There's your triple trouble. We'll see if anybody can figure it out. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Elena already got it. We'll see if anybody else can get it as well. Here it is for the 4th time.
It's not an anomaly then that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely innovative is nurtured and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new.
¿Qué tal vas de ánimo? ¿Necesitas un empujón? ¿Un poco de aliento? No sweat. No te preocupes. Pásate por vaughantienda.com y hazte con nuestro nuevo material multimedia. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Y viene de la mano de tu propio personal trainer profesional, David Gómez Agudo, conocido por sus miles de seguidores en las redes como Fitbull Coach. Trabajarás fitness, mindset, nutrición y por supuesto el inglés. Y viene con más de 250 vídeos para que entrenes junto con tu coach. Es un win-win. Haz que este año sea tu año, con 365 días de wellness e inglés. What an awesome material. And I think it's great that you can work on yourself while you work on your English. That is awesome. Also,
our spelling bee words. Let me give those to you really quickly. Now, the reason I chose these words, as always, there's a common thread, un hilo común. You say the same thing. And today, in the year 1900, as we say, at the turn of the century, in 1900, the Taoist monk, el Tao, you know this, the Tao? The Taoist monk, eso era número uno, named Wang Yuan Lu, no Juan Lu, Yuan Lu, it's his cousin, and his name Wang Yuan Lu, that was number two, discovered the Dunhuang manuscripts. Okay, descubrió the Dunhuang, that was the word that was difficult for me, manuscripts. And they were found in the Mogao caves, las cuevas de Mogao, in Dunhuang, China. And basically, these were found, they were found to be of great historical and religious significance. But then who's that sixth name there? Paul Pelliot. Well, he was the guy who bought the manuscripts and, well, let's say this, for dirt cheap. Okay, dirt cheap is baratísimo. So it's if you want to look into it more, they're called the Dunhuang manuscripts. All right, let's see. I've given you some time to figure out our triple trouble. Let's see. Chris Valrol says that high and mighty guy didn't climb very high. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wow. All right, that's right. That high. What are you, high? A veces lo preguntamos cuando alguien dice también algo, una tontería, like, what are you, high? I think you say the same thing. So that high and mighty guy, okay, so if you're high and mighty, eres alto y poderoso. It means exactly, petulante, right, was the word in Spanish. Don't be so high and mighty, okay? No seas tan petulante. So that high and mighty guy didn't climb, acuérdate, ve completamente muda ahí, climb very high. Chris, I'll use Rob Graham's favorite expression. You're killing it. Rob Grahams loves that one. You're killing it. All right. Eso es estás arrasando. Excellent job, Chris. Let's see. Elena, speaking of people who are killing it today, Elena says that high and mighty guy whose high couldn't climb too high. Wow. What can I say? I am blown away. Totalmente pasmado, not plasmado. I am totally flabbergasted, totally blown away by how well the ladies are doing in today's show. You're making me proud. Hey, I'm your teacher. And when I see you pulling off these challenges like they're easy, and we all know they're not, especially that spelling bee, as we said, and today's triple trouble being so difficult, wow, I feel proud. I feel very, very proud. All right, and as a reward, I'm going to take you to a place I love, and I know you love it too. I'm talking about the movies. Name that movie. All right, it is time for Name That Movie. All right, let's see if you can catch this one. Now, the word, I'm going to take a look at this word. I have never used this word, but maybe people use it. I've never heard it. All right, so let's try it this way. Because it's not in word reference, so I know it's a word that, okay, see, I didn't know this. And I just learned this. I mean, I remember it from the movie, but it's not something you'll ever hear in the United States. Okay. But again, English is spoken all over the world. So don't just limit yourself to what's spoken in the United States. So here we go. Alex DeLarge. Does the name ring a bell? Alex DeLarge and his droogs, and that's the word I'm talking about. A droog is a young man belonging to a street gang. Okay, again, I've never used this word in American English, so I imagine it's a British English word. Okay, droog, D-R-O-O-G. Okay, so Alex DeLarge and his droogs, his we would say gangbangers, right? You can say gangbangers, thugs. That's how you would say that in American English. Thug is T-H-U-G. They barbarize a decaying near future. Okay, un futuro en decaída cercano, near future, in the near future. Okay, and barbarize, I think you've got it right. Barbarizar, right? To barbarize. Does the name sound familiar? Alex DeLarge and his droogs, in English Americano, and his thugs barbarize a decaying near future. All right, well, let's go through the movie and then we'll see if you get it as we go on. The stage direction, esto es indicación a los actores, stage direction, says Alex has the tramp pinned down. You know wrestling, el pressing catch, you have to pin somebody down, aguantarles, sujetarles para que no suban. That's to pin somebody down, okay? So Alex has a tramp, un vagabundo, pinned down. And the tramp says, well, go on. Pues adelante. Do me in, you bastard cowards. Do me in es mátame. Do me in. Do me in, you bastard cowards. You know, it's cowards, sino cow. I've heard people say coward. It's not co, piensa cow, como vaca. Cowards. Do me in, you bastard cowards. I don't want to live anyway. No quiero vivir de todos modos. Not in a stinking world like this. No en un mundo apestoso como este. And then Alex says, oh, and what's so stinking about it? ¿Y qué es tan apestoso? ¿Por qué es tan apestoso? And the tramp says, it's a stinking world because there's no law and order anymore. No hay ley, no hay orden. It's a stinking world because it lets the young get on to the old. No, meterse con, aprovecharse de, get on to the old like you've done, como acabas de hacer tú. Oh, and it's no world for an old man any longer. Ya no es un mundo para un hombre mayor. What sort of world is it at all? ¿Qué tipo de mundo es? En absoluto. Men on the moon, los hombres en la luna, and men spinning around the earth. And there's no attention paid, doble negación, no le hagas caso. And there's no attention paid to earthly law. Earthly, de la tierra. Earthly law and order no more, que ya no hay orden. All right, we've got a winner. Give it up for Chris Varrol. Stanley Kubrick. That's right. This is A Clockwork Orange. La naranja mecánica, is that what you call it? We call it A Clockwork Orange. And speaking of cows, remember the Korova milk bar? There's a scene where they're drinking milk. Well, it's named after the Russian word for cow. You see the word moloko, which is written on the wall. It means milk. So they're teaching you some Russian in that movie over there. And also, Stanley Kubrick recycled that set. In fact, that set, the chairs were reupholstered. They fixed it up, but it was the chairs from the space station. Eso es la estación espacial, in another Stanley Kubrick classic, 2001, A Space Odyssey. So there you go, folks. Sometimes they do that. Now, sometimes the sets are recognizable. You can say, esto es el mismo instituto que Back to the Future. Sometimes they make alterations, but really, you're looking at the same set. So this is A Clockwork Orange, and it's directed by Stanley Kubrick, the one and only Stanley Kubrick. All right, amigos, time to move on to a section where we learn with a little bit of humor, a dash una pizca. It's your joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. As always, we're going to learn some English with some jokes here. And since we were just talking about space, we're talking about Space Odyssey 2001, A Space Odyssey. Why don't we take a look at some space jokes? But I need my space first, okay? Just give me some space. I'm going to hit the space bar. All right, those aren't the jokes. Here go the real jokes. What do you call a blood-sucking arachnid in space? Okay, blood-sucking, que chupa sangre. Okay, and that, what does that mean? Parasitic. Okay, and again, it can be used for a real thing, like a leech, por ejemplo, una sanguijuela, which literally sucks blood, but we can use it for people like that too. We all know people who are just, living, they're exploiting other people, and we call them parasites. You blood-sucking parasite. So it's not just reserved for small little bugs, bichitos. So what do you call a blood-sucking arachnid in space? Easy, a lunatic. A lunatic. You say lunatico. Do you get the joke? A lunatic. A tick is una garrapata. He has ticks. A blood. Lunatic. All right. Did you know the word tick? You might know it from tick tock, tick tock. Well, hopefully you've never had to use that word. Hopefully you've never had ticks. All right, the next one. Why did the people dislike the restaurant on the moon? Why did the people dislike the restaurant on the moon? There was no atmosphere. Now, does that one work in Spanish? Creo que hasta en español funciona esa. No había atmósfera, no había, right? There was no atmosphere. Well, on the moon, right? It's a shame because, if the restaurant was full, then it would be a full moon. Okay. All right. I have my reservations about that joke. All right. I apologize. Apologize. Okay, I'll stop, guys. I'll stop, but only because we've got a birthday celebration to get to in famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. All right, let's see if you guys know today's famous birthdays. Number one, this person was born in 1924. And he was nominated 5 times for Academy Awards for Best Director. 12 Angry Men in 1957. Dog Day Afternoon, with Al Pacino, 1975. Network in 1976. The Verdict, you say veredicto, we say verdict. The Verdict, 1982. And he's done many other movies, such as The Hill, Serpico. There's another one with the wonderful Al Pacino. Murder on the Orient Express in 1974. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, and so many more. Number 2, this woman, she sings, You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. You're so vain. and many others. She is an award-winning singer. She's been around since I can remember. I remember listening to You're So Vain and many other songs of hers. Let the River Flow. Oh, man, that is epic. That song is epic. And what a voice she has. Oh, it's not Let the River Flow. Perdona. Un sinónimo. Let the river run. And it's one of those songs that'll get you pumped up. You're So Vain as well. All I Want Is You. Not Mariah Carey. That's All I Want for Christmas Is You. All right. And last but not least, an American chef and author who was born today in 1956, and he died in 2018. He was a celebrity chef, author, and he was always doing these travel documentaries. Really interesting guy. And if you've never seen him, you should take a look at some of his shows. He's got a lot of them. Supposedly, some people doubt this. There is a conspiracy theory about this. But supposedly, he committed suicide. He hung himself. Now, I don't know, because there are many people saying, are you sure? He seemed to be happy, like everything was going well. And hey, speaking of reservations, one of his programs is his name, and it's called No Reservations, which is a great one. The Layover, there's another one. A layover es una parada, ¿no? Si tienes que parar en una ciudad en un avión. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol says Sidney Lumet. Number 2, Carly Simon. And the third one is Anthony Bourdain. Que crack. Check him out if you've never seen him. And this is Anthony Bourdain in Madrid. And he's saying it's not an anomaly. Anomaly? I know you recognize the word. It's not an anomaly, then, that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely feroz, right? Fiercely innovative is nurtured, right? Alimentado and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new. Here's the man himself, Anthony Bourdain.
It's not an anomaly, then, that Madrid has become a place where the new and fiercely innovative is nurtured and celebrated. At Diverso, Chef David Munoz is trying and succeeding to do something exciting and new.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
All right, wonderful job to the ladies today. I'd love to say to everybody, I trust you guys who weren't participating in the comments. At least you were doing it aloud. But the ladies, man, the ladies took the cake today. Se llevaron la palma. Wonderful job, Elena, Chris, and all the rest of you who were with us. Because even, as I said, if you can't participate, if you can't write down the challenges, at least you were saying them aloud, or I trust you were. All right, so wonderful job, everybody. And we've got 2 shows left here. Make sure you participate in our question of the week. It's a fun one this week. And it is, if you could go back in time, if you could travel back in time, where would you go? And we're going to take a look at the song. It's an amazing song. Check out the lyrics. We'll do it together. Let the River Run. It's a song from 1989 by birthday girl Carly Simon. And if you haven't heard it, well, give it a listen because it's absolutely amazing. And if you have heard it, well, take a look at the lyrics and sing along with me. It's Carly Simon and Let the River Run. Again, thank you so much for all your energy and your effort every day. It's epic. Get ready for it. Daughter. Here we go. The river run, the dreamer with the nation. Come, the New Jerusalem. Come on, stand up. A little oomph. Come on.